Hey ceramic students, welcome back for our final tutorial on this relief carving tile. Today we're going to talk about two things. First is the possibility of adding a bit of texture to the surface of your tile. Now the tool I used to add this texture was something else that I made. So I'll demonstrate here quickly how I used another piece of that Romex electrical wire. First thing I did was straighten out some of the bends, then use a razor blade to strip off some of the plastic sheeting that's on the outside. As soon as I have some bare copper wire, I can straighten it out with a hammer and cut down some shorter pieces to use for each one of the dimpling tines. I chucked one of these pieces of wire up into a drill and used 3 different grits of sandpaper. The first grit roughs it down and rounds the end. The second grit sort of polishes and sands off any rough spots, and the third grit just sort of polishes the end. 10 or 15 rounds of that, and I've got enough to continue. Now I'm switching my drill to a twist bit that pretty closely matches the diameter of that copper wire. In general, I would say it's a good idea to keep your fingers away from the business end of a drill, keep yourself away from potentially running a drill bit into your finger, but I was being really careful here, and plus the drill was moving at a pretty slow speed. Because the drill bit was just slightly undersized, now when I thread the copper wires into the dowel, it fits in really snugly with a friction fit, and each piece goes in nice and snug without any glue. With a few blows from a hammer against an anvil, I'm able to level out all the tines. That way when I use it as a texturing tool, all the tines engage the clay at the same time. A flathead screwdriver just sort of straightens out the copper, and a few more taps of the hammer to even everything out. Then I used it on my hardened clay to just sort of woodpecker in that hammered texture. Make sure the clay is sitting flat on its canvas board surface and supported the whole time to avoid any cracking. Finally, I'm going to work back over the tile really carefully and just kind of pick out any little extra little blips and kind of uneven areas and throughout the tile. This will be the last time I touch this tile before I just let it sit and dry overnight. Once it's dry to greenware, I'm not going to touch it. So give it once more time over the whole tile, clean up all the little bits, being careful to support the tile the whole time.